Ah, you're back. Come on, pull up a log. Careful, don't get too close to the fire. What's that? You came for another story? Well, there's one I haven't been able to stop thinking about. But first, you already know the drill. Some of the scenes you're about to see have been recreated using artificial intelligence to help bring this story to life. The history, the people, and the events we're about to talk about, those are real. Tonight's story takes us back more than 100 years to a man remembered as a soldier, an explorer, a hunter, and eventually the 26th President of the United States. Most people know him as Theodore Roosevelt, but very few know that he once published a story about a creature that sounded an awful lot like Bigfoot. And trust me, this one gets strange. Before he was president, before the Rough Riders, before his face ended up on the side of a mountain, Theodore Roosevelt wrote a hunting book. Published in 1893, it was called The Wilderness Hunter. Between the chapters on elk and the chapters on grizzly bears is one story Roosevelt almost didn't include. A story told to him by an old trapper. A story he describes as something between a ghost story and a true account. The man who told it was still shaking when he did, and that was decades after it happened. The trapper's name was Bauman. Roosevelt describes him as a man of German descent, old, weathered, a lifetime on the American frontier behind him. He had trapped beaver across Idaho and Montana for years. He was not, by any reasonable measure, a man who scared easily. Roosevelt goes out of his way to say this. He establishes Bauman's credibility before he tells the story. The story happened when Bauman was young. He and a partner chose a remote pass in the Bitterroot Mountains, rugged wilderness along the border of Idaho and Montana, to trap beaver. Good water, good country, almost no one around. Almost no one. The year before, a lone hunter had gone into that same pass and never come out. A group of prospectors found his remains later, half-eaten, scattered. Nobody knew what had done it. Nobody went back to find out. Bauman and his partner heard that story and went in anyway. The first day was normal. Hard work, good trapping. They set up camp near a stream and settled in. That first evening they came back to find camp disturbed. Things moved, a pack knocked over. Easy enough to tell yourself it was a bear. They reset everything and went to sleep. That night they smelled it before they heard it. A smell unlike anything either man had come across. Heavy, foul, animal in a way that didn't match any animal they knew. It drifted in from the dark timber across the stream and sat in the air and didn't go away. Then came the sounds. Something moving through the trees on the opposite bank, moving on two legs. Not the shuffling four-legged gait of a bear, upright, deliberate, heavy enough to crack branches with every step. It circled the camp slowly and didn't stop until dawn. They kept the fire burning all night. Whatever it was never came into the light, but it never left either. By morning, their gear had been disturbed again, and at one of their traps, a beaver had been ripped apart, not eaten, just destroyed, in a way neither man had a word for. Bauman's partner wanted to leave immediately. Bauman convinced him to stay one more day to finish pulling the trap lines. One more day, he said, that's all. The second morning they found the tracks. Large, two-legged, pressed deep into the soft ground around their camp. Walking upright, heel to toe. Not human, but moving exactly the way a human moves. They didn't speak about it much. They worked fast that day, staying close, pulling the remaining traps. They planned to break camp at first light the next morning and get out. That evening, the smell returned before the sun finished setting. The sounds followed, the same circling, the same two-legged movement in the timber. The men stayed close to the fire and barely slept. In the morning, Bauman went to pull the last traps downstream, while his partner broke down camp. They agreed on a meeting time. They shook on it. Bauman headed out along the stream. He pulled the traps and turned back toward camp. He smelled it before he got there.
Not the animal smell from the nights before. Something worse. The forest had gone completely silent. No birds, no insects, nothing. He slowed down. He already knew. The camp was destroyed. Everything scattered. His partner was gone. He found him at the edge of the clearing, in the brush. Roosevelt is careful about the details here. What he says is this: the partner's neck was broken. His body showed signs of tremendous physical strength, and whatever had done it had not dragged him away to feed. It had crouched over him and stayed, and then left him exactly where he was, as if it wanted Bauman to find him like that, as if it was making a point. Bauman stood in that clearing for a moment. He did not bury his partner. He did not gather his gear. He ran for the horses and rode without stopping until he was miles from that pass. He rode through the afternoon and into the dark. He never went back. Not for the traps, not for the gear, not for his partner's body. Never. Theodore Roosevelt heard this story directly from Bauman and put it in print under his own name in 1893. Roosevelt was not a man who did that carelessly. He doesn't claim to know what was in that pass. He calls it a goblin story, the polite term for something you can't explain. He leaves room for it being a bear, an unusually large, unusually aggressive bear that happened to walk upright and leave two-legged tracks. But here is the detail that has stayed with researchers for over 100 years. It's not the tracks, it's not the smell, it's not even the broken neck. It's the part where whatever did it stood over the body and didn't feed. Every large predator in those mountains kills and eats. What Bauman described was something that killed and then waited, something that needed to be understood. Roosevelt wrote that even decades later, telling the story made Bauman shudder. Not performed, not for effect. Involuntary. The full body trembling of a man revisiting something he had never managed to leave behind. The Wilderness Hunter is still in print. The Bauman account is still in it, word for word. Whether it was a bear or something we don't have a name for, somebody died in those mountains, and somebody else rode away in the dark and never went back. That part, at least, isn't a legend. Well, I guess that's one less mystery keeping us awake tonight. Thanks for stopping by. I'll keep the fire burning until you're ready for another story. Stay barely afraid.